Yes, I know it's cliche to say it's been a whirlwind of a year, but it really has been. And I only realized it today when I actually took the moment to look back at what has happened since January 1st. I've noticed a few things about this year, but the most important is that it has been a year of favorites and passions. I've danced in happy videos, with the beautiful balanced GW family, with my Just Dance buddies, or even alone in my dorm. I've had some of the best jobs in my life. I became a certified Segway tour guide, which is even more fun than it sounds. I continued coaching figure skating, helping to share my passion for the sport. I even got a gig writing for the DU Clarion, exploring my passion for news in a different perspective than I have ever experienced. I've pushed myself. I finished my first half marathon, my first triathlon, competed in my first intercollegiate figure skating competition. I've backpacked up mountain passes. I navigated the Boundary Waters just with friends for the first time. And I'm becoming an amateur rock climber. I've expressed my inner goofball. I've always been a little bit crazy, in more ways than one, but I finally feel like I'm embracing the side of me that doesn't mind posting not so attractive pictures of me on social media or impersonating 90s rap bands on ice. I made a big decision for myself. I transferred to a college halfway across the country where I didn't know anybody on somewhat of a whim. I've loved life in DC and had many excellent opportunities. By the time my school year at GW finished, I had no real intentions of transferring. Ultimately, I was sitting in a hotel in Denver on a family vacation, writing a final paper about how people find happiness in life by finding their passions and living their life how they want to. While reflecting on my own passions and driving around the mountains for a week, I realized that figure skating is a passion that I knew I could not pursue at GW. I also missed regular opportunities to explore nature, which isn't a focus of DC as a city. Finally, I couldn't escape a haunting feeling that I felt all year at GW. I couldn't help but think to myself, I would never want my kids to go here. It wasn't a place that I wanted to stay long term, and it was a place that I knew I would end up staying if I began to establish career connections in the city. So I packed up my bags. Really, my mom, aunt, and I took a road trip to DC to haul my stuff back to Minnesota that I left with family in Virginia, and transferred to the University of Denver, the place I am proud to call my new home. I've returned to my passions and even explored a few new opportunities, but more important, I feel comfortable in my new home, and feel like it is a place I would be happy staying in the future. Yes, my grades are still great, and DU has a top-ranked international studies school, so I'm not dropping my career path. In fact, the curriculum here allows me to have a double major in journalism studies and minor in Spanish, which would not have been feasible at GW. Looking back, I can see that I've accomplished a lot, but I really only notice that what I've accomplished is making decisions for myself. For most college-aged young adults, it's tough to make life decisions. I often get the feeling that I'm getting bombarded. College counselors, family, friends, and even professors continually tell us exactly what we should be doing at this moment in our lives to live successfully. Get good grades, volunteer, study abroad, do internships, get a job, meet people, network, keep your resume updated, don't get addicted to drugs or alcohol, but also get enough sleep, do some recreational activities. The list goes on. It's impossible for us to follow all of the advice at the same time that it's impossible for every successful person to follow the same path. You can focus your time on specific goals, habits, or whatever other guarantee for a great career and lifestyle, but ultimately, you'll spread yourself thin, and before you know it, you'll enter the working world without having done anything for yourself. This year, I urge you to have one goal. Do what makes you happy. I don't mean this in a follow your dreams type of way. I mean, instead of choosing your ultimate perfect job or picking one thing you want to do when you're older, focus on the present and do what makes you happy now. I've noticed that if you make a habit of doing what you like now, you'll have some pretty great opportunities to keep doing it in the future. If it isn't what you like in the future, at least you've enjoyed yourself for the time being. At least you didn't spend your entire life reaching for some ultimate goal before realizing that you didn't enjoy the majority of your life getting there, all in the sacrifice of a theoretical happiness. I think I've done a pretty good job of taking that goal in stride this year, and I see the rewards. I'm living in a place I love, doing exactly what I love, and slowly getting opportunities to do more of the same. So 2014 has been absolutely nuts. I am nuts, really, but I wouldn't change any of it. I only hope that 2015 will lend more of the same.